I am actually gonna stop being religious at fully, like literally fully, like because matter of fact, I was never really like religious, but I'm gonna stop it fully because listening to radio stations, that promote religious beliefs is just wild. Like my mom puts them on, because she's like trying to heal the whole house and shit. I just feel that radio station just brings negativity, man. But it's like I'm literally further proven by the fact that that radio station tells people not to think critically at all. Like they literally fucking tell the listeners to literally like make, and like pretty much like anyone who questions your religion a bit is Satan. Like there's something way worse, by the way. But let me just think real quick. Let me just think. Like there was, oh yeah, there's this dude on the radio station that literally sound is trying to sound like Hitler. That charisma, that hip, that um you know Hitler's tactics that he used basically to speak. That's the same thing he's trying to imply, but only the only difference is like in Dutch and religious beliefs. The other thing is they literally tell you in your face that hey, you're not supposed to think for yourself. You're supposed to listen to your pastor. You're supposed to listen to what God is telling you. Like for any person who's capable of critical thinking, any person was like able to fucking just has a higher IQ than, let's say, pretty much 100, and just I don't know, higher than 100, higher IQ basically than 100. Basically average, average measurement for intelligence. Matter of fact, Western intelligence, but still, any person who's able to think critically is gonna be like, yo, this ain't it. Like this ain't it. And even matter of fact, you can even hear in their voices that the shit that they're saying, they see it as crazy, because it is. Like matter of fact, I was a hella religious kid growing up. Like I literally was a kid who was into religion. Like I was gonna follow Jesus, and the fact that he literally says no money, like no money at all. There's a video animation teaching kids that hey, money is not the way. And I was like, okay, yo, this makes sense because it brings this and this and that. Do you literally fully just follow it. Like this video of Jesus overthrowing a lady's table. Animation basically. Um, I was literally gonna telling my parents about it. I was like, okay, yo, I'm gonna be hey no money type of movement and stuff like that, and they laughed, and I was like, yo, you guys are religious. This shit makes no sense. Like if you tell me as a kid not to judge, the religion, and you're laughing to literally a factual thing that I literally took from that video, the teaching, and you laugh at me, it's like, yo, something ain't right. Because you gotta understand, these clowns and losers of society, I call them losers because you are basically, of society, tell you to judge queer people, for example, blindly. They tell you they are bad, blindly. Don't question, don't talk to anybody. Don't talk to anybody who's queer. Don't talk to anybody that's, against God. Don't listen to them. Because that's going against your belief. The whole idea of love your neighbor is literally just phony, basically, for a lot of religious people. And especially the fact that I have nail polish, for example, like me having nail polish, you can really see the faces literally a lot. Be like, oh damn, like instantly, like I'm seen as instantly a bad person without having an interaction with me. Kids like, and this is the important thing, when you have a child and your child is literally okay with with a stranger, and that stranger is literally being kind to the kid and literally has no negativity, that problem is you. Because I have that shit a lot. There are so many kids that consistently want to come up to me, and like I don't call them. I don't fucking call them. They come up to me. They matter of fact, they stop me. Matter like they be there as me stopping me, asking me questions. Last like 2 days ago, a group of kids just stopped me from, hey, like, how old are you? I said 21. They didn't hear me the first time. Then when I literally passed by again, they they literally insisted for me. They literally basically wanted to stop me and ask me, how old are you? And they consistently asked me to race to race, basically do some racing activities with them, but because I was literally driving an e-bike at the time. I was like, okay, no, I had to go. They're little young. That's quite dangerous for kids to kind of do that. Maybe because it is a dirt road. And still having a bit of fun with children, but um, still, if you wanna see if a person really is bad, most of the times you need to literally look at infants and little children. They tell a lot. They tell the full story. I even had it with my little with cousins, because my family, my religious family knows now that I'm queer. The faces that you see, matter of fact, people don't even call me again anymore or text me as much anymore, because I'm literally the definition of a disappointment in their eyes, I guess you could say. But in the younger kids are like, oh shit, I still they still are willing to spend time with me. Matter of fact, I have a little cousin that always says hello to me, despite like even he sees me only a glimpse, a glimpse only. Like I'm passing by on the street and he literally just screams hello, my name, as in hello, literally. And for example, other instances, when I was working at a company called Choice, the whole staff, most of the staff, literally had something against me. I'm not a bad person. As a matter of fact, I did three of their job, three people job in a span of 2 hours to 3 hours. Matter of fact, 1 hour to 2 hours. And I guess they kind of didn't fuck with me because I'm not a person that talks about negative shit, as in look down on other people, and they are also religious. Meanwhile, customers literally love me. My customers complain to me personally about the other workers, the way they are and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Even like, and then again, kids. There's a child, the random kid that came up to me. I didn't know. I like another like I'm a stranger. Came up to me, running from the cashier to me, to ask me that day if Santa's real. Then yet again, proven again. Am I the bad person? Like there is camera footage of it happening. And that shit happened like what? Around three, don't picture like 2 years ago, basically around 2 years ago. Yeah, a kid came up to me and asked me, "Is Santa? Do you think Santa is real?" I was like, "What?" Like I was like, "Oh, like okay, kids." Like I didn't want to say no, so I asked the kid, "What do you think?" The kid was like, "Hmm." I get like literally like for me it was really exciting. I was really like, oh my god, damn, this kid is actually smart. Like the kid said, yeah, no, I don't think so. I was like, okay, fair answer, fair answer. It's a fun interaction. Another other thing where a child literally insisted that I literally went with them to pick snacks, because I was like, yeah, this child is not gonna leave me alone at all if I literally just try to say like bye bye, I have to go. This child literally insisted, and the parents also felt hella comfortable with me. They didn't even look my way once. So I was like, yo, damn, okay, I'm surprised that the parents didn't look my way once. Literally go. The girl was literally walking and following me around, to buy a snack. And I was like, okay, hey, what are you gonna pick? Is this and this and that? Literally talking to her, interacting with her. Matter of fact, teaching her um, was it like there's a word for it? Teaching her like decision making. I guess you could say. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. But yet again, um, like fucking the colleagues basically at the time didn't love me at all because yet again I I don't know, different energy I guess, and mostly religious, because they literally saw that I'm queer and stuff like that. I was dating my ex at the time also, so that's also one thing. Um, like there's so many like there's so many stories that other people can also tell, compared to religious people and compared to a person who has tattoos, for example, tattoos on their face, and maybe even wears upside down cross, basically. Like there are even studies done literally to prove these different arguments, or like different um, different fucking. Also, this I don't know whose phone's going. Oh, okay. Construction workers' phones, but still, there are different instances, different studies, yada yada yada, done basically. Um, they proving the fact that most of the time the people that teach hate, because it literally is teaching hate, because why would you want to blindly judge somebody without really understanding the why behind it. That was literally me as a kid. I want to understand the why behind it, because if you tell me God created everything, but then you tell me no, me talking to a queer person is bad, I'm like, how does that make sense? Because if you tell me he created everything, and then you tell me no, that's Satan work, I was like, how? That doesn't align anyway logically. It doesn't align, even in nature doesn't, it would not align correctly, because that would mean Satan himself is a god himself. It's a higher being himself. And if you tell them that, they literally are like, no, that's bad. That you can, like they're literally just like they are yet again losers basically. The loser, that's loser mindset. You don't want to question shit. You don't want to grow. You don't want to understand different people's perspective. You don't want to wear different shoes basically. You don't want to, I don't know, be have empathy for anybody else, and especially those queer people that are highly religious and for some fucking reason still support this the genocide that's happening, because they're like, oh no, Muslims are utterly bad, and they like to pick sides. They're like, no, the Quran's just bad. Meanwhile, the Bible itself, especially like the Bible literally promoted colonialism. If you look in the Old Testament, matter of fact, there's like Judaism, the Jews basically. If you look in their book, there's literally writing in book, the holy book of supporting slavery. I was like, yo, how the fuck is this even a thing in the modern time? I was like, yo, what? Like, what the fuck? And I'm the crazy one, I'm the crazy one for not having religious beliefs. I'm the crazy one for not believing a God exists, or questioning the idea of it. I'm the crazy one, not them. I'm the crazy one. So this is also the reason why I drop people so fast, because my autistic ass cannot, like, I'm having a stroke just to break their logic down. Like, my brain hurts when I fucking try to do this. Like, I'm literally like, I could possibly have a stroke from this due to just the stupidity of it. Yet again, look, everything online. Everything is online. You could literally just check everything online. Everything is fucking online. Just check everything online. You're gonna see fucking studies of it, of that shit. Like, literally, it's online. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's sad. It sucks. It really sucks. It really is something that's. I'm still surprised about that people literally are that ignorant Like ignorance is really fucking bliss. That shit is bliss. That shit is like heaven, basically. Because like even the Pope's teaching and certain things, even if you go to um what's the thing called, fucking, like basically other religious belief, it's like, yo, especially one religious belief, fucking the monks, basically the monks teaching that their idea of like self-sacrifice is literally, where they try to mummify themselves, um in a fucking position. What's it called again? Meditating position, basically. It's literally suicide. It's like mentally ill, basically. If you literally look at it in a medical perspective, because why would you really want to do that if you, like, there's no point, because the thing also is, yeah, right. You gotta realize animals don't have a belief at all. Like, they don't have any religious beliefs. That's kind of the also thing when it comes to religion. Sacrificing sheep, for example, is a thing, in the Bible, and they literally show animation of people literally using a sheep's blood to um, wash away, like basically the negative, spirits or some shit like that. You have to get search it up. And me as a kid was like, yo, like questioning it, basically. I was like, okay, that like killing a sheep, but then again, I was like, yeah, me as a kid was like, oh, I mean, it's like, old times, basically, before, after the Christ type of shit. It's like, yeah, I mean, those times make sense. Like, the fuck. But even then, especially like in these cases in Africa, for example, it's quite sad that read that yet again. Like, I made a video about it already, but if I'm correct, but in Africa, colonialism really traumatized the whole continent. Like, Christianity is left and right, this and that. Like, it's saddening, because the whole culture, the original culture that the Africans had, died out, basically. It's pretty much just gone. Everything is just whitewashed. And especially Jesus also, like, what the fuck? Why is he white? Why the fuck is he? Why is he white? How does that make fucking sense? Especially back then, like, what the fuck? Now it makes more sense, but back then, white dude, twink, fucking twink. How does it make sense? And especially the telling of Maria getting pregnant and giving birth to a man. If you literally look scientific research, there are like, if a woman gets pregnant without a um, opposite, basically, gender, or like, opposite sex, basically, not gender, opposite sex being present, um, they will basically give birth to a the same sex, basically, because it makes more sense. The chances of having an opposite sex, or in a matter of fact, intersex might be a way higher than the full opposite sex. Yeah, like, they can search it up. There's literally so much information online about these things, and here's also the thing: people need to do more research. They need to fucking do more research. They need to be schools that fucking do more research. That teach these things, scientific research. Like, they're literally, because why do you think a lot of big corporations don't want kids to be getting all of this scientific evidence? Why do you think? Because if a small population of kids gets these type of things, that society is gonna change within a year. Within a year that they get into power, where that yet again proven again with like the climate activists, the boats that went to Palestine, but sadly due to profit they want they couldn't really do that much. They did a lot still, but money, a piece of paper that it has no value. It's just imaginary. You gotta understand that too. It's just a piece of paper. Humans have, really made no sense, especially with the thing with also borders, for example. That makes no sense. I mean, animals cross borders all the time without any paperwork. Why do we really need them? I mean, it's mostly control. And, people gonna say, yeah, the culture is different, this and that, but think about it. Do we really need borders on planet Earth? Because anyone could cross over a border, a imaginary border, which literally was created by kingdoms and stuff like that, and colonialism also with Africa situation and just South Africa, even Northern Africa basically, imaginary border was created, and even wars fought over imaginary borders. Mental illness, you could call it. Um, like I mean, these type of questions are gonna come up a lot more because the world is changing. People already, especially if the world gets a lot more mixed. If people get more mixed, then there's not really gonna be a point of having a border because the whole idea of it is that to keep certain people out of the country from like different nationalities and stuff like that. But if the whole world ends up being mixed, I'm talking like in billion, like 7 billion people are just mixed, like spread everywhere, and everybody's mixed. The idea of borders is not really gonna want to exist. It's not really gonna matter at all. Matter of fact, it's not even supposed to matter. Like you could have identity, it gives identity to people, but still, it's kind of going off topic. But still, it's really things I think about on a daily basis. So you can really imagine how much I want to talk about these type of situations. I'm literally talking to myself in a room just to understand if this shit makes sense on day to day, especially if I'm on the toilet. I don't know why, but toilet makes me think. But yeah, so like I understand religion, in general gives people comfort, which is a very important thing in a time that is still trying to understand um, psychology. Like, but let me say, in a time that where psychology isn't walking clinic type of situation, not widely available. Because if you look at these type of things, they're just people fearing for stuff and trying to cling on to something that they can, feel comfortable with. If you have the brain for it, I guess. But most of these things are just that. They're just that. It's just, oh, why are you religious? Oh, God saved me. I was suicidal once, and God saved me. The signs are there. The signs are literally there because yeah, because even me back then, I was like, oh shit. I like me is I'm way too aware about these type of things. I'm like my awareness is literally above the average, like above intelligence wise. Like I'm literally way too aware for this shit. To the point that all of these things are just exhausting to me. Like I'm literally just looking at a video type of like let me say this. For me, a person could be doing this, or a group of people could be doing something, and for me, it's just like watching a movie, and like I don't know, like I don't know how to correctly say it, but my awareness is literally that high, I guess you could say. Like I was trying to give a good explanation, but I guess my brain is not really working after talking for so much. But yeah, um, I don't know. Like there's a lot of things to really talk about. I mean, it's already 24 minutes long, almost. Matter of fact, 25 minutes. But so like, there's so much shit to talk about these type of things, and then the fact that most people are not gonna understand the things that I say also really is saddening, because I talk about these type of things a lot to different people, and I just as an experiment, and I'm like, damn, like I'm a bit too smart, basically. I'm a bit too smart. I have imposter syndrome, so it's a bit too smart, you know. For for a lot of people right now. Like I'm kind of feeling like fucking Nikola Tesla at this point. Of course, I'm not inventing things yet. Yet maybe in the future, I don't fucking know if I live that long, but it is it really makes me kind of question also what's the point really of caring that much. For example, the philosophy of nihilism really has been um, scratching my back lately, basically, or knocking on my back door, not in a sexual way, but knocking on my back door, basically. No, like, what's the point? Because if you literally see so many things, if you understand so many things and the way the world works, and your chances of like changing anything or changing people's views or making them think, or like or like this small. And like I question it. I question if making videos like these are even worth it. But at the same time, I have to, because my mind is eating itself. Like I'm fucking going crazy. But the problems with being smart, I guess you could say. I tested once for 180 IQ, 130 IQ, and like basically last year, when I was like, okay, I did a test, without really being physically well, so ended up scoring at 130 something, basically 130. I mean, I also have dyslexia and dyscalculia, so those do also play a huge factor in calculating. So I'm kind of basically very smart, but have limitations. Fucking yeah, but yeah. But still, um, I don't know. Like these type of things still scare me though. Like deep down, they still scare me a lot as a person, because I do care about people and stuff like that. I understand a lot about these type of things. Emotionally intelligent, yeah, but still, like these things really do scare me a lot though, because I'm like, damn, the amount of people that are never gonna question their own existence just for once, just small ones. I'm not talking about getting an existential crisis, because it's not easy, but still, like, the amount of people that are just gonna blindly follow their religious beliefs, even though they themselves are not a person like that. That a person that is supposed to be in that category, literally self-harming themselves. It's saddening to me, because like, damn. I mean, and the world is changing now, but still, like, that shit still happens a lot.